Hey there and welcome back. In this video of solving the Wordle game with APL, we're going to start worrying about the function filter. Now this function is the function I used in the very first video to help me play Wordle, or in other words, cheat. And yeah, we want to implement this. So in order to implement this function, the filter function, we are actually going to break this up into 3 steps. So you're going to have the CL step, let's call it the IL step, and the WI step. And what do these stand for? CL stands for correct letters, IL stands for incorrect letters, and WI stands for wrong intersection. And these are just mnemonics I use to remember how things work. And actually, so these represent the 3 smaller filters that we are going to apply to our words to make sure that we only get valid secret words. So we want to implement this. And I think it's best if we start from the beginning. And actually this was written as I said them, but actually in APL code those would be written like this because we want the CL to be applied first. So we want to edit our function filter, and our function is going to be composed of 3 steps: WI, IL, and CL. Now, this function filter needs to receive the guess we made, the score of that guess, and the words we are considering. And the idea is that CL takes those words, the guess and the score, and trims down the possible words to take into account only words that have the correct letters in there. IL will take whatever words survived the first pass and will trim down the words that left incorrect letters in the same place. And I'll explain what this means in a second. So that will trim the words down even further, and then those go into the WI, which does the final check. And all of these functions, all these 3 functions, need access to the current guess and its score. And then the filter function is what gets that information in the first place. So what goes where? Well, I think it's easier if we make it so that the left argument of filter is also the left argument of these 3 functions. And so alpha here represents the current guess and the current score. So the list of words goes on the right. And this also makes it easier to chain a series of filters when we have a series of guesses. So this is our filter function. It's done. We've implemented it. However, it doesn't work because we haven't implemented these components here. So these are the components that we need to worry about. And again, let me tell you what CL does. So CL filters the words. So filters the words, paying attention to the correct letters scored with a 2. That's what CL does. So if we have, I think I have this game right here. So after a guess like arose, the function CL will keep all the words that have an O here and an E here. That's what CL will do. IL filters words that kept the incorrect letters, scored with a 1. So IL would look at a guess like this. Notice how S is yellow, because we know there's an S in the word somewhere, but it's not here. So IL will filter out all of the words with an S in this position. So that's what IL does. And finally, WI. So WI filters words that have, I can just say this as filters words that have letters that they shouldn't, or rather, how can I say this in... So WI filters words that have the wrong intersection with the guess. So what does this mean? Now this is actually, it might look like two ideas at the same time. So essentially, if we take a guess like a rose, we can just ignore the green columns because those are already taken care of. So we need only focus about the A, the R, and the S. And the WI check will essentially make sure that the words we take into account have an S and don't have an A or an R. So that's what WI will do. So this is my idea of how we can implement filter, and I would suggest that you give these three functions a go. So try to implement these three, or try to implement the filter function in your own way, and I'll come back in a sec to make sure how to see how you're doing, and to show you how I implemented this. So good luck with that, and talk to you in a sec.